So I've come up with a conclusion about Nicholas Brendon. He's acting. He's acting. So I don't know what they're doing, but I'm pretty sure that the Buffy show people have known about me for a long time. It might not be for the whole. I think it's unlikely to be for the whole 12 years, but I'm sure at least 5 years ago they must have known about me. They must have seen. I told people. I don't know when it was at the point that I told them that it was like my new Bible. I'm pretty sure it was right at the beginning, but I might have done it in a very small way, and then I did it in a bigger way, probably just after I was making the after 3 years I started making like a new Bible, and I said that Buffy was like was actually my new Bible, but then I just was bored, so I started doing other stuff. So maybe that was when people and I think what's happened is that he is acting, and he's acting like someone who's lost his mind. I don't think Brittany is. I think Brittany's mentally ill, but Brendon, Nicholas, is actually an actor, so maybe he's acting, and I think maybe the point is, on the day he's going to see me, we can like do like some sort of witchy magic spell like what Willow would do, and then I can like fix him, or he can just like correct himself and go back to being like not mentally ill, but because there's like all these videos that prove that he's kind of mentally ill, it would kind of like be like the spell worked, because it's like, yes, he's not mentally ill, and so yes, I don't know if I believe that story, but I want to, so yes, I'm going to believe that Nicholas is not mentally ill. He's only pretending to be mentally ill for the sake of something that's about to happen. And I don't know what that would be. But yes, if the whole point of what I'm doing is going to try and trick lots and lots of stupid people into going in the rapture, then maybe a mentally ill actor, or someone who's acting and pretending to be mentally ill, maybe they should come up with like, wow, this is such a good idea. I mean, if you're smart, you would look at his videos and be like, yeah, he's mentally ill, so maybe we shouldn't listen to him. Maybe that's the point. Maybe that's what he's getting at. Like, he's going to do something that's only going to be for mentally ill people. Hence, he's trying to portray himself as a mentally ill person in hopes of getting them to leave. Yes. Like, it's bad. You know, my uncle is mentally ill, and I see him all the time, and he's a nice person. But at the same time, he's not doing anything with his life. He's living off benefits. He's not working. Like, I know it's not something that was. It was something that was forced on him. You know, he was literally strapped into a bed and forced to have lithium and 40 pills a day, and they're basically saying that if you don't do everything that we say, we're going to lock you up in a hospital, and we're basically going to keep you as a prisoner in a hospital due to your mental illness. I mean, really, I think the doctors were pissing him off, making him angry, and when you're being observated by people that are questioning your mental health, I feel like it brings out a mental illness in them, and they start thinking that they're better than the patients, and they start mistreating the patients. You know, they get their work providing they have patients, hence they need patients, hence they like to get people on benefits that give, you know, yearly full benefits throughout the whole life, so that the doctors can guarantee getting an income out of these people. And you know, I think it is very sad what's happened to him, because I don't feel like it was something that he chose. It was something that he was forced into, and he wasn't very bright. He wasn't bright enough to snap himself out of it and stuff. And you know, I genuinely believe that his next life will be so much better. He won't go through this upbringing of people telling him that he's mentally ill, when really I think he was just a little bit stupid. You know, hopefully he'll have a bit. I think the drugs might have damaged him over the years, definitely. You know, if you can't produce certain chemicals, you need to train your brain to produce certain chemicals. If you get angry and aggressive a lot, you need to think out why, and you need to say, you know what, I need to stop myself from doing this, and I can't just rely on drugs. Because if you think that the only way you can control your attitude is by having drugs, then it means you're not learning to control your body, and part of being alive is to learn how to control your body and to control the chemicals that you produce whilst whilst trying to stay sane and stuff. And You know, if he died tomorrow, in a way, I would feel kind of happy because I would be like, I'm glad for him because he's now going to get a new body and he's not going to have the same upbringing that he had now, which is to tell him that he's mentally ill and that he can't do anything and that he has to just rely on others. And he is just relying on others. So these people are like parasites. And he told me yesterday actually that my dad called him a parasite. He hasn't been to my mum's house for about 10 years, and he said the reason why was because my dad called him a parasite, which is very harsh of him. Did my dad do that? Probably. He kind of grunts and is a bit angry sometimes, and yeah, it's not very nice, but at the same time it is kind of true. And I don't feel like it's really his fault because he had no other choice. It was a choice between living off the government and being a parasite, or being locked up in a mental hospital. You know, those were the only choices that they gave him because they didn't allow him to have anything. And I've been in a mental health hospital for 10 days, and I know that any type of reaction, any type of this is unfair, any type of anger that you show them, they're only going to see that as you being mentally ill, not you being angry because you're locked up in a place you don't want to be in, but you being mentally ill, and there's something being wrong with your brain, something that you need to sign up and say I can't work because I have this mental illness, and then I'm going to have this sort of lifetime. I've heard that they're changing that. Then they're going to try and stop offering lifetime care for people. Sometimes life is about learning and developing and growing, and sometimes you can have a phase in your life where you find it hard to control your life, but that doesn't mean that you're a write-off for the whole of your life. And I think a lot of people on benefits are given some sort of write-off stage where they say, yes, I'm mentally ill, I'm going to have this condition for the whole of my life, and they just get benefits for the whole of their life. And he's been on it for so long now. He's like 55 or something, and he's very overweight. So no, I think he's 60 now actually. Yeah, I think he's 60 now. I didn't think he would make it to 60 because I've heard of people that his size don't usually live that long. But yeah, he's been on drugs all his life, and he's 60, and he doesn't walk much. So he's definitely in the last few years of his life. But I don't know because I can't say that. But I know that his next life will be a lot better, even if it is going back to an animal. I think his life will be a lot better, and therefore I do think that a lot of mentally ill people should go, because I don't think it's right that you should write people off and say, right, we'll give you benefits for the rest of your life. 2 years later you might be able to recover from it, and drugs are definitely if you have antidepressants, it forces the drug to control your mind, but you should learn how to control your mind. You're not the drug, and therefore it's not. I don't know what happened to Xander, but I don't believe that. I think he's acting, and I think that it's for the purpose of either coming across me and being healed by me, and then going back to being normal Xander. I mean, normal, however he was. I didn't know Nicholas Brendon, but yeah, he's going to go back to being normal. It's either that. What other things? I don't know. I know you're doing another series, but is the other series just to I don't know, to conclude it?